Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on WABASH caht TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Bruce Dickey. Look who it is. It's Doug Aman.
Hi, Bruce. Good morning.
Good morning, Doug. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
It's good
doing
to see
well.
you.
Thank you.
So
good
much
to see
for
you
being
too.
Here. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Anything I can do to help?
He's very kind. He's very clean. So we're going to talk with Doug Aman here in just a little bit. Who knows what all we're going to talk about? You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on this beautiful Thursday morning, May 7th. Of course, now if you're watching this on YouTube, who knows when you're watching. So you might need to make sure, here's what I'm always telling folks, pay attention to what your local leaders are telling you in regards to quarantine, shelter at home. As you can see, we have we've got the stick.
The COVID stay back stick.
The COVID stay back sticks. That's
yes.
Exactly. Well, it's, I don't know if my wife would like me calling it that. That's the
She's not here.
WNOI stick. But no, you're right. She's not here. So the COVID stay back stick. We are social distancing. By the way, I'm going to ask you a little bit later. I want to see your mask and make sure that
I did bring it.
You did bring it.
Yes.
So we're very pleased that you are paying attention to such things. Again, pay attention to your local regulations and your local health departments and leaders as regards to quarantining and stay at home. What is going on today? What is some news today? You're off, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. But your microphone's still on, so just in case I might ask you a question here too, just to warn you a little, give you a little heads up, just in case. All right. This is Thursday, May 7th, and what day is this? Well, there again, no community events really to tell you about. Actually, there are a few tomorrow and next week coming up, but today, nothing I can really tell you about. However, the only way I used to see this one publicized is when all the kids at school would go out around the flagpole, and this is the National Day of Prayer. The National Day of Prayer, observed annually on the first Thursday in May. This day of observance, designated by the United States Congress, asks people to turn to God in prayer and meditation. I was going to say, I thought it said mediation, but there's an extra T. Now you're giggling at me, are you? Turn to God in prayer and mediation? I mean, he's not really qualified, I suspect, for mediation.
The great mediator?
Well, that's Lincoln, right?
Sure.
I don't know. We're all just making things up right now. We're all just making things up. But like I said, this is the what's the National Day of Prayer history? Well, to tell you the truth, in the early 1950s, an evangelical movement called for Congress and the President to proclaim a National Day of Prayer. The movement grew, and a young leader, evangelist Billy Graham, led services for approximately 20,000 folks on the steps of the Capitol on February 3rd, 1952. Later that year, Congress proclaimed a joint resolution for a National Day of Prayer. President Harry Truman proclaimed a National Day of Prayer to be observed on July 4th, and then Ronald Reagan later changed that back to May. So that has been done since Ronald Reagan's administration. First time a National Day of Prayer called by the Continental Congress issued a proclamation recommending a day on July 20th, 1775, a day of public humiliation, fasting, and prayer. And that's kind of unusual, but that's what they did. Also, 1795, George Washington proclaimed a day of public thanksgiving and prayer. In 1863, Abraham Lincoln signed a congressional resolution calling for a National Day of Prayer. Of course, if you're going to have a National Day of Prayer, ladies and gentlemen, what else are you going to have? You're going to have the National Day of Reason. Is also observed each year on the first Thursday of the month in May. The observance originated in 2003 in response to the perceived unconstitutional National Day of Prayer. According to organizers of the day, the National Day of Prayer violates the First Amendment of the United States Constitution because it asks federal, state, and local governments to set aside tax dollar-supported time And so that's how the National Day of Reason. It was created in 2003 by the American Humanist Association and Washington area secular humanists. Not really all that surprising that you would have one without the other, right?
Yeah, reasonably speaking, yes.
Reasonable, as long as all folks can be reasonable in discussing these things, right?
Right.
That's certainly the hope. What else is on May 7th? This is World Password Day. Each year on the first Thursday in May, World Password Day promotes better password habits. Passwords are critical gatekeepers to our digital identities, allowing us to access online shopping, dating, banking, social media, private work, and life communication. I can only guess, Doug, that you are required by your particular business to change passwords all the time.
Yes, we are. We try to protect all of our customer information, and we do, I think, a pretty good job of it. But yeah, it's constant changing passwords.
How often do they make you do it? Just in case.
Well, actually,
any particular cyber hackers are listening?
Really, I probably shouldn't tell you how often that we do change our passwords.
I didn't know.
But I will tell you that it's often.
Often enough.
Often enough, yes.
Often enough. Well, see, that makes sense.
Proprietary info.
That makes some sense. Actually, here at WABASH, I think I have to change my password every 6 months, but I don't have any real access to good proprietary information.
That's reasonable for you.
Well, yeah, for me, since I have no access to anybody's information.
Correct.
There's a reason that I have no access to anybody's information, because I don't need it.
True.
There you go.
You wouldn't want it.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't want it. He's exactly right. I don't want it. Also, finally, each year on May 7th, it is National Roast Leg of Lamb Day. Yes! The Leg of Lamb Day makes a menu suggestion worthy of celebration. The leg of lamb is a mild and tender cut of meat that, when roasted, is a unique and tasty dish to lots of folks. A typical preparation involves covering the leg of lamb with butter, rosemary sprigs pushed inside incisions cut in the leg, and rosemary leaves sprinkled on top. Look at that. That's a great looking leg of lamb right there. Got another one right there, and actually that one looks just about right. That one has maybe that's relatively moist. You're probably knowing you and your habits, you're not a big leg of lamb guy.
I just don't fix it. I've had lamb before, prepared by it was basically a traditional Greek dinner.
Oh, really?
And it was really good. It was prepared perfectly. Yeah, tasted well.
The leg or the shank, or what'd you have?
It was a chop, actually. Lamb
really?
chop. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nothing goes wrong with a lamb chop. Roast leg of lamb day serves to remind us that when we indulge in this wonderful dish, we're sharing a meal that our ancestors have shared for thousands of years. Mutton and sheep's milk were a staple protein since we first transitioned from hunting and gathering to an agricultural lifestyle. And now mutton, a much-loved meat, an important staple of cultures all over the world, while their wool is vital to many economies. So roast leg of lamb day, honor the noble animal and its contribution to human culture. That is one thing to do. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in here to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We are going to talk all kinds of fun things with Doug. We're going to talk a little racing. We're going to talk a little flying. We're going to talk a little bit about oil. We're going to talk a little bit about Cardinals. Who knows what? Are you fired up for the Cardinals this year?
Yeah, I'm ready. I think we all are.
I suspect we are all.
Yeah.
You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Doug and I'll be back right after this. Stick around.
In 1949, Morton Buildings constructed our first machine storage building to establish our bond with the farming community. Since then, our relationship has grown, and so have our product offerings. From the smallest specialized operation to the largest agricultural enterprise, we understand the needs of your business and continue to evolve to meet industry demands. Plus, when you build a Morton building, you're backed by the strongest warranty in the business. To learn more about the Morton Advantage, visit mortonbuildings.com.
At WABASH Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. WABASH continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose WABASH, the local service from people you can trust.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Aman Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Le Mans always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemansonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of WABASH Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from WABASH Communications. WABASH Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Morning, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on WABASH Catch TV. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Bruce Dickey, joined alongside today by Mr. Doug Aman. Doug Aman, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Bruce.
What is new in your world down in, Doug is a State Farm agent down in Fairfield. How long have you now been with in the insurance business?
Well, come June 1, it will be 9 years. That June 1, 2001, when I was appointed.
19.
Yes,
you
19,
said 9.
19 years.
Yeah.
So June 1st, here, coming up in a few days.
Well, happy anniversary.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Cool. I got to ask, and I kind of ask all the business folks that I have in here, with this shutdown, with the stay-at-home and the quarantine rules, how and when did that start affecting your day-to-day operations?
Back around the second week of March, I believe it was. I know that the governor's order happened on the 20th.
Yeah.
But the week before that, go back 2 weeks, we started limiting. We've always been open. We've never closed. However, we quit allowing folks to walk on into the office. Mm-hmm. So if they had any kind of payment that was due or had any other kind of work they needed us to do for them, they had access to a mail slot in the door for payments. And then basically we've been operating all phone calls. We sort of had to limit payment methods a little bit. The only method that got limited was cash. Yeah. So we limited that. What is typical when it comes to cash? I mean, do you have a lot of folks who intend to pay cash? Yeah, there are still a lot of folks that either don't have checking accounts. Yeah. Or they do have a checking account, but they just still like cash.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of folks that like to come by the office and pay cash.
Well, that's the thing with an insurance company nowadays, and probably for the last 20 or 30 years, all payments that you make to claimants or something like that, those are all made from a centralized office anyway, aren't they?
Right. Yeah. We don't. I mean, I can do pay a claim in the office. A smaller claim I can pay with a check, of course. But
Yeah.
any kind of substantial claim, all of that's happening elsewhere from a claims office.
Which makes a ton of sense.
Oh yeah, yeah. They don't want agents paying too many claims.
Yeah, I don't think
They would rather leave that to the claims folks.
that makes sense. Tell me a little bit then about if so it really hasn't affected you much other than closing the door.
Face-to-face customer interaction is limited.
That's a large part of your job, though. Before this,
Yes, it is. It's limited right now. We still have a lot of folks that they want to come to the office. And they're real understanding. We've had no issues whatsoever. People are understanding what everybody's doing, and there's a lot of people that don't want to come see you face-to-face now in this time. So it's weird times. Everybody's adapting, and we're moving on the best we can.
That is well. That's all you can ask. I guess that makes a ton of sense. Tell me a little. Now I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm getting this out of the way early so that we can go on to other things from it. Your expertise. You have been in the oil business as a owner and a servicer for many years.
Yes, and I am no longer
really in that business.
No longer in the oil arena at all.
The reason I established that, even though you could say you're no longer in, I need somebody to make an explanation to me.
Well,
how can I make money on negative oil?
Not knowing too much how the futures trading works, but I'm guessing that some of the futures guys that do the trading and the buying of the contracts, there are winners and losers, and that's, even though oil went negative, I'm sure that there's some people out there that figured out how to make some money with that.
Yeah, I suspect.
The local producer, if we have a tank of oil out there and we want to sell it, and you hear on the radio or any kind of media where the price of oil locally is $10 a barrel, that's what the producer gets.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that's going to buy it.
Is there? I got to ask in this now. Granted, oil's gone up in the past week or so quite a bit, which is great for the local area. Thank heavens that it has. Whenever you get into low oil like this, you see, are you as a pumper able to slow down your pumps?
Well, what a lot of the local producers will do when oil drops really, really low, there's going to be some wells out there that are marginal to begin with.
Yeah.
And it's cost prohibitive to continually pump those wells. So those wells will be shut down. And then there are some wells that they'll shut down strictly because they don't want to be producing oil at the price that they're getting.
$10 a barrel, right?
Yeah. So when the producers shut the wells down, then that affects everybody on down line. The service companies, they're
you got nothing to service.
Exactly. The tank trucks, the roustabouts, the well servicing.
And for that
everybody just shuts down.
And for that matter, the wildcatters or the people who are the drillers.
That's usually the first.
Yeah, they're going to stop. They're going to stop operating.
Exactly. When the producers stop drilling wells, the drilling contractors are usually the first ones that get hit. The drilling rigs are stacked. And then eventually over time, if oil stays down, then the producers will start shutting down their marginal wells. And it's happened. It's happened before. It's
to say this is not a first time occurrence.
It's a boom or bust. The last big really
88.
The big price crash from the boom from the 70s happened in 86.
Yeah.
And then we started recovering from that, but back in 98 was the big one, I think, in Southern Illinois that really took a hit on the oil industry. A lot of people left it.
Yeah.
and didn't come back. And then we had a resurgence in the 2000s, and then up until about 2014. But since 14, the oil has been steadily dropping.
That's just a fascinating subject to me. Whenever you see in the newspapers negative oil, and it just makes people think, oh wow, do I need to? Have you had anybody offering to buy a tanker and to fill a tanker like out of?
Well, yeah.
Transportation's a little bit of an issue then, wouldn't it?
I would think so, but I did look. I think the oil, I can't remember if it was a Monday or Tuesday, the oil went negative. And then I did go to a crude oil buyer's website the next day to see what they were paying for local crude.
Yeah.
And it was in the negative.
Whew.
So there was a day 3 or 4 weeks ago when basically oil wasn't worth anything. There's just too much of it, I guess. You know, I'm not one of these smart futures trading guys to know all about that, but I think everything had to do with when contracts were coming due, and there was a lot of oil and there was no place to put it, and so they couldn't get it sold. I don't know if there would have been a tank truck show up to their house
then you have demand falling off too. And
exactly. It's just like they call it perfect storm, maybe.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Folks, you're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I've got Doug Aman here. He's explaining the world to us, and we
not really.
When we come back, we're going to talk about a wide variety of other stuff. You're watching Big Talk. Back right after this. Stick around.
At WABASH Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. WABASH continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose WABASH, the local service from people you can trust.
Looking to build a new hobby building, horse barn, or farm shop? Let Morton Buildings help you design and construct a building that perfectly suits your needs. We'll be there for you every step of the way, even post-construction, with the strongest non-prorated warranty in the industry. Plus, Morton's exclusive Energy Performer insulation system provides the ultimate in comfort and efficiency. To see our latest projects and learn more, please visit mortonbuildings.com.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from WABASH Communications. WABASH Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Aman Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Le Mans always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemansonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of WABASH Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
Don't exist.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. You know, you do exist, Doug.
Physically right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Folks, you're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on WABASH Catch TV. My guest today is Doug Aman, and we're talking about a wide variety of stuff. Going to talk a little bit about insurance, but we're done with that. We talked a little bit about oil, and we're pretty much done with that. I want to know, all right, I'm 50 years old, and I have 50 plus. Be nice.
Come on, Bruce.
Be nice.
Well, we're trying to be honest.
Well, not that honest. Not that honest.
I'm 50. Go
You're
on.
50 something.
Maybe.
Yeah. I'm 50 plus years old, and what if I came to the conclusion at my age I'm ready to start flying a plane?
You can do it.
How does one get started? I mean, if I know that you are a pilot.
Yes.
How long have you been a pilot?
I started in high school learning to fly and soloed and that stuff, but I didn't actually. I took a break and I didn't finish until April of '91.
Is that a skill that is more easily learned at a young age, or are there the occasional older people who try to do
There
it?
are older folks.
Larry Roast did, right?
There are a lot of retired people that you read about that worked all their entire life and they wanted to fly, and so they retired and they had time and they learned. Yeah, so anybody, any age can learn.
What kind of time frame? How many hours? I mean, used to see the occasional barn at an airport, where there was somebody who would teach you flying lessons. That doesn't really exist anymore, does it, or does
Well,
it?
there's still guys that work at an airport and they do flight instruction. That's where the flight instructors are. They're at the airport, so they might have an ag business or some related business with flying, and on the side they do flight instruction. So yeah, I mean, if you want to learn to fly, of course now we have the internet and you can just do all sorts of searching on the internet. But the first step would be to go out to the airport and snoop around a little bit.
I'm getting around all that to get to this. How much time does it take before I'm up there soloing at night and all that?
That depends on your skill set, Bruce.
Yes.
Big time. I think the average amount of hours somebody is flying before they solo used to be around 10 hours.
Oh, really?
Yes, and that's with an instructor. Of course, you're going to fly with an instructor from day one.
Flying solo, when you're flying solo, the instructor's in the plane.
No, when you're flying solo, the instructor is not in the plane.
Really?
Hence the term solo.
10 hours. I know. I understand that. Solo could mean you're flying by yourself, but there's somebody sitting there in case you're about to hit a wall.
No. No.
10 hours? You can just put in 10 hours and then you'll be.
Yeah, it's learning a piece of equipment. I mean, it's learning how to fly of course, flying. But you can get a lot of flying done in 10 hours of time. Taking off, landing. Taking off is optional. Landing's mandatory. So
I like that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, the average, is 10 hours, maybe 11 or 12. A lot of it depends on, if you have a great month or two of weather and you're able to get a lot of flying in and you're keeping things going in a nice orderly fashion, sometimes you can get it done a little quicker. If things drag out because of the weather, maybe it might take you 12, 13 hours of flying. But your instructor, they know right away.
Really?
Usually on how well a student's going to do.
Have you seen instructors who will tell the occasional student early on, "Hey, look, this isn't for you, Mr. Dickey. This is maybe not your bailiwick."
I don't know. I don't know what an instructor will tell a student or not, but I've had instructors tell me that usually some of them will tell you that the first time in the airplane they can tell whether or not somebody's going to be able to fly an airplane or not. It's sort of like there's some people that can drive a car,
right,
or parallel park.
Yeah.
But a lot of instructors will tell you that usually folks that are good with their hands, as far as maybe they're good with working equipment, eye-to-hand coordination, that type of stuff, they usually say those guys usually will figure out how to fly an airplane.
All right. Say I'm 53 years old and I want to learn how to fly a plane.
For illustrative purposes.
For illustrative purposes.
53. Okay, we'll go with that.
53.
All right.
Well, and a person who has been in small aircraft, but not in and in large aircraft. And I've got I've got hours of time now. What kind of money am I looking at spending? I mean, this is something that it is really, as I understand it, it can vary immeasurably.
Yes, and I haven't looked at cost associated with renting an airplane and having an instructor. But if you look at, and I don't think the hours have changed, before you can go for your check ride. Your check ride is when you finally go and you have another guy fly with you and he decides whether to give you a license or not. But
really?
It used to be you had to have 20 hours of solo time, meaning by yourself, and then 20 hours with an instructor.
Okay.
And so before you solo, if you're going to go 10, 12 hours, but then you also have cross-country time, flying like to airport to airport to airport.
To
well,
Mount
a
Carmel.
little bit farther than that. But so as far as cost goes, if you're looking at 40 hours,
Depends on how much it costs to rent the airplane.
Rent the plane, and then 20 of that's going to be plus an instructor. I think a lot of people get turned off or maybe don't consider flying because they think, oh my gosh, if it's going to cost me $8,000, maybe $9,000 to learn how to fly, I think if they really think about it and think about what we spend our money on, it might, money is money and expense is expense.
Right.
But, some people buy a horse trailer and a pickup to pull the horse trailer, and they buy the horses, and the horses are expensive because they eat. If you look,
some people buy a tuba.
Some people buy tubas.
Some people buy trumpets. Tubas cost more than trumpets.
Yes. Some people buy boats because that's what they want to do. So, if somebody really wants to learn to fly, it's possible because in the end, if you're a boater, you just don't boat for a while, or if you're a horse person, it's tough to get rid of your horses, of course. But and I'm not knocking those two hobbies.
But you were just as a for instance.
It's prioritize what we want to spend our money on.
Some people like to go to baseball games. Mm-hmm. A lot of baseball games over the course of a year. You could probably figure
a season ticket holder could easily not have his season tickets for 1 year and probably have money left over after you learn to fly.
Yeah.
So
that's fascinating to me. So you're not counting out the 53-year-old.
Oh, I wouldn't count anybody. There's been people all ages up 80s learn how to fly.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, it's possible.
Do you have to have? Are there any foot pedals too, or is it all just hands and
rudder pedal
and stuff? Yeah, the rudder.
You have rudder pedals. That big thing that sticks up at the back of the airplane, your rudder.
Yeah.
That keeps you going one way, this way, that way. That's what the rudders do. That's what your feet do. Yes, and then you have your hands. Hand-eye coordination.
I've got one other question.
Things have to work in concert to keep the thing in the air.
I've got one other question then. I'm presuming with the invention now of the Amazon doing all the you got these drones and stuff that are basically programmed. At what point will the small plane be programmed where I could just hop in and let it fly me to Mount Vernon or fly me to St. Louis or something like that?
Not sure about that.
Now I'm asking you the tough question.
There's been talk about self-driving cars, and that's not happened yet. We have cars that will help us park, but to literally
there are trucks doing it.
Push a button. I think, but they're finding there's an ethical thing going on with the self-driving cars, because if you're going down the road and there's an object in front of the road, inanimate, whatever, maybe there's a big box that for some reason, and then the car says, I've got to veer to the right, But however, on the right side of the road, we've got a little child on his tricycle. So determining whether they should run over the box or hit the kid on the bike. So as far as flying goes, it's probably closer than a self-driving car, but I don't know. I have no clue what I'm talking about.
Keep that in mind. Well, that's why you're here, Doug.
Yeah, I guess so.
We'll be right back after this. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We'll be back right after this.
At WABASH Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. WABASH continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose WABASH, the local service from people you can trust.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Aman Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Le Mans always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemansonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of WABASH Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
In 1949, Morton Buildings constructed our first machine storage building to establish our bond with the farming community. Since then, our relationship has grown, and so have our product offerings. From the smallest specialized operation to the largest agricultural enterprise, we understand the needs of your business and continue to evolve to meet industry demands. Plus, when you build a Morton building, you're backed by the strongest warranty in the business. To learn more about the Morton Advantage, visit mortonbuildings.com.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from WABASH Communications. WABASH Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone service is required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
More folks, welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. That's Doug Aman. I'm Bruce Dickey. Thanks so much for tuning in as we're trying to figure out where I'm going to get flying lessons. By the way,
You can go maybe over here just next door at the Florida Airport.
I suspect I could. They have helicopters there all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because people are flying in.
I took my ground school class at Florida Airport back in 1990 or 91. Frontier Community College was offering a ground school class.
Oh, really?
And the person teaching it was a guy named Steve Tolbert.
Okay.
And I think he had a little company, Tolbert Aviation, and he was the guy running the airport back in 90 or 91. So every Tuesday evening for basically the fall semester, I'd run up here, and there were 10 to 15 of us in the class. And then at the end of the semester, he actually had an FAA examiner come in.
Oh,
and
really?
So our final exam was the FAA's written test that you have to pass as part of your
Oh, that's handy.
getting your license. So yeah.
Well, I suspect that there's probably still similar types of situations that do that.
Yeah.
Doug Aman here has a wide variety of. We're talking hobbies right now, and flying. I guess if it depends if you're riding or flying, depending on whether it's a hobby or an avocation. You want it to be an avocation. You want somebody whoever's doing the actual flying to be really.
Well, you want them to be current.
Yeah.
And to be current, you have to have 3 takeoffs and 3 landings, and they go together.
So how often
the
do
3
you get
takeoffs and 3 landings? They do go together.
They do go together.
And you have to have that within 90 days, a rolling 90 days.
Do you get out there and fly every?
Oh, I try to remain current. Yeah.
Okay.
The best I can. You also have to have a medical.
What's the farthest that you've flown in one of those little in your little plane, your little single engine?
Texas.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. How long does that take?
Depending on the winds, 4.5 to 5 hours. We would stop in Arkansas for fuel after about 3 hours, and then it was usually another 2 hours to where we were going.
I'll be darned.
So
well, that's interesting. You can look at it. I mean, there are very few folks who look at it as a vocation, who fly for a living. I mean, they're airline pilots and freight pilots and that kind of thing. So we're looking at that as a hobby. One other hobby that you have is racing. Is racing. Is racing.
No.
What got you talked into? Why did you go from flying to racing? Because it seems like both of them maybe not are the. Let me look at it here on a sensibility and actuarial the actuarial and sensibility basis. Neither of them make all that much sense.
No. In what way makes sense?
In the sense
can we justify?
Not justifying the money. I'm justifying the risk to life and limb.
Well,
I'd say airplane flying is a lot more safe.
Yes, yeah, it could be, but riding a motorcycle on the highway today, probably to me one of the most dangerous things you can do. There are a lot of dangerous things we can do, but
riding a motorcycle through a deer crossing.
If it's done properly, you do all you can to reduce or mitigate some of the risk involved.
Yeah.
So, but it was, if the question was, how did I, why did I, or
why did you?
Well, I had always enjoyed it. If you remember, Bruce, back in the day, and I'm sure you do, being 53 plus, we had the races, the auto races at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
And it was a class of a car, and they called it the midget class, and it's just a small open wheel, meaning no fenders, like a little miniature sprint car.
I think they're trying to do that at Wayne City Speedway pretty soon again.
And
this year,
right? So that I enjoyed that, and then good friends with Bill Taylor, the Farm Air, the ag pilot.
Yeah.
He was the one that finished me up on my flying, and I've known him since he came to town, and he got involved with the Red Hill Raceway, one of the big main guys with that. So he started building the racetrack, and then he got a sprint car, and then I'm like, I'll help you. And so
all right, I ask all that to ask this. I know that you've had an accident in racing. I'm not going to ask you about the accident. We talked about that on the show before.
I think so.
And I know that you have not, I don't believe, had an accident flying. Your brother has.
He had a little one, yeah.
A little spill.
Yeah.
A little spill. Let's just call it a little spill. Where is the bigger thrill? If someone is a thrill seeker, they're both. You both have different varying levels of potentiality for injury. Where is the bigger thrill? You're trying to minimize risk both ways, but in a riskier situation, where's the bigger thrill?
I don't want to lessen either one of them, because I really enjoy flying and I enjoyed the racing, but I do know that racing probably ruined a lot for me later on in life, as far as
Walking.
going to Disney World and doing a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of thrill and excitement when you strap yourself in your car. You fire up your engine, and
So now you're saying that the roller coasters aren't that much fun anymore? Or
no, they're not. There's I'm
there's
thinking
not that much to them.
about the next step for me. Really, when if you're flying and you're racing, and this might sound silly, but I would really enjoy going to outer space, because I think that would be the next big ride. I think that would be a thrill.
Wow.
So
That would be pretty cool.
but when you're strapped in your car and you're waiting to get on the track, and you're in competition with other drivers, that's pretty exciting, and that's pretty good thrill. Now, in an airplane, I've been with an instructor before that we've done controlled stuff in an airplane that was pretty exciting too.
Have you ever had an airplane experience with where you've had issues that there was maybe some a varying level of, for want of a better term, puckering?
There were a couple times. Again,
Mainly weather related or something?
there was a weather-related instance one time.
You talk about that?
Well,
Does your wife know about it?
there's a saying with pilots that all bad landings stay in the cockpit.
Okay, all right. Well,
So every landing's a good landing, but there are a few times that once, like with weather, that we look back on it and probably scratching our head a little bit, thinking maybe we should have not gone that day. And there's a few once I can think of when I was landing. It was a little windy, and it wasn't a great crosswind
That's no
landing.
fun. Yeah.
But it was funny. Everything, your training, it all kicks in. You just remain calm. You fly the airplane, and you go back around. You come back around. You land, and everything's great. And I do remember that day. It was funny. I landed, the second time, put the plane up, and got in my car, and everything was hunky-dory. And I remember leaving the airport, pulling onto the highway, and you pull around, and you're at the Y and the stop sign, and I went, and I was put my foot on the brake to stop, and my leg just started to shut down. So that's the only time.
Well, you see, that's good that the training takes over.
It does.
When you're on the plane. That's all you can
You'd be
ask.
surprised.
That's cool.
Everything slows down. It's like slow motion. It was in racing. When something was about to happen, everything it just slows down. If you ever heard people talking
Sure,
about
yeah.
it, just goes in slow motion. It does.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Folks, you're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. That's Doug Aman, and we'll be back right after this word. Please stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Aman Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Le Mans always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemansonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Get what you want and nothing else when you order a la carte internet from WABASH Communications. WABASH Communications is now able to offer a la carte internet called broadband only with fast download and upload speeds, reliable service, and unlimited data usage. No phone services required for our broadband only plans. Our broadband only menu includes packages up to 1 gig download. Call us at 665-3311 now to order. Service availability and internet speed will depend on location. Contact us for details.
Hi, my name is Bruce Dickey of WABASH Catch TV's Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Watch us each weekday right here on your local cable station. We're on at 9 a.m. with a repeat at 9 p.m. It's your local TV talk show with plenty of information, fun, and frivolity to get your day started right or maybe even ended right. Please contact me at 665-9970 or at bruced@wabash.net if you are a member of your organization would like to be a guest on the show. That's 665-9970. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Hey, thanks for watching.
At Wabash Communications, our goal is simple: to keep people connected. And today we are doing just that, better than ever, by delivering the latest technology and personal service only a local provider can offer. We offer services anywhere from fast, reliable internet, TV services, and home monitoring solutions to crystal clear local and long-distance phone service. Wabash continues the commitment we started back in 1952, delivering a great connection to the most important people we know, our customers. So choose Wabash, the local service from people you can trust.
Looking to build a new hobby building, horse barn, or farm shop? Let Morton Buildings help you design and construct a building that perfectly suits your needs. We'll be there for you every step of the way, even post-construction, with the strongest non-prorated warranty in the industry. Plus, Morton's exclusive Energy Performer insulation system provides the ultimate in comfort and efficiency. To see our latest projects and learn more, please visit mortonbuildings.com.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Thanks so much for joining in today. Doug Aman is here. He is down in Fairfield, your State Farm agent, one of your State Farm agents, all over the place, and we appreciate his time. Thanks for making your.
Thanks for having me, Bruce. I always enjoy it.
Well,
time goes fast
it really
when I'm
does.
on your show.
I am going to ask you one thing here, or ask you one more thing about the. I'm going to ask nothing more about flying or anything like that. I'm going to ask you about one other subject. You are one of the bigger Cardinal fans that I know.
I enjoy watching the Cardinals and following the Cardinals.
You follow the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. You make judgments on. You pay close attention to what the Cardinals do in their off seasons and what they.
I try to pay attention.
Were you the base? We're talking about the baseball Cardinals, and they did not. I must admit they did not seem to do a whole lot this off season in regards to acquiring free agents, making trades. They traded players off. They didn't really trade a whole lot in. Considering we will get to play again, I'm going to say in July.
I think so.
Where do you think? How are the Cardinals going to do this year?
It's interesting. I think the Cardinals going to be on with the shorter schedule. I think that they're going to be one of the teams that will thrive, strictly because if the pitching holds true, our pitching is what's going to carry us anyway. And I'll comment on the offensive side in a little bit, but the pitching is what's going to carry us through. So I think, and I don't know what your opinion is, but I think teams that have strong pitching tend to come out of the gate quicker than teams with poor pitching, because sometimes it takes a little while for the offense, for the hitters to get going. So I think if we have, and we've got how many starting pitchers, we could go with a 6-man rotation, a 7-man rotation, whatever we wanted to do.
Especially now that Michaelis is going to have time to heal.
Yes, and so we're going to see more doubleheaders. We're going to see more games in less days. So our pitching is going to be huge, and I think we have, as long as nobody gets hurt, which there will be somebody get hurt. We know that happens every year. But I think with the strong pitching, we'll get out of the gate quicker, and I think that will help us. See,
that's going to be one of the keys. Because you're not right now. Because if you're a team like the Washington Nationals last year, Nationals they started their first 50 games. They were 19-31, and they had to put it together to get into the playoffs.
And I did read a couple of days ago the Dodgers, who have been there the last 4 or 5 years. I read that. After either 60 or 90 games, because we're going to have I don't know how many games we're going to have left.
They're talking 100 at the start.
But after the 60-game mark, if that was a barometer, only one time in the last 5 or 6 years would they have made the playoffs.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Because last year several teams shared first place.
Yeah.
But
last year they had a huge. Was it last year they had the 17-game losing streak or something like that, and still stayed in first place, or lost 16 out of 17.
It was big. It was big. So I think the teams with the good pitching, and they come out early. I like a website called Baseball Reference.
Yeah.
Any stat you want about any player that's ever played the game. And they're following another website, and I can't remember the name of it.
Prospectus?
No, but it's a site that is basically doing some sort of. There are websites that can predict what your record's going to be, and they're doing a season right now. And,
Oh, really?
And they've got the Cardinals 10 games above 500, leading the division by several games right now, and the other teams have not. So I think it's because of the pitching. I have been watching a lot of the Cardinal replays of the past World Series and the division winners. And of course, we're seeing all these games the Cardinals win, and I look at the players on those teams. Scott Rowland, we had Pujols, some of the big offensive guys, right. And I look at those players that went to the World Series and we won 105 games, and I look at the players we had on those teams, offensively and defensively, and then I look at the current players on the Cardinal teams offensively. I think we're good defensively, but offensively, I look at the players we have versus what we had when we won.
Well, you look at 2006, the 3 through 6 hitter are all Cardinal Hall of Famers.
Right, and I look at what we have now versus then, and I shake my head because I'm thinking, wow, our players now can't carry, their duffel bags. That's an old term, right?
Duffel bag. It still works.
Yeah. So,
better than the other one.
But then I look back and I see, okay, well, but this team did win the division last year.
Yeah.
So
smoke the Braves.
Yeah. So you got to play the games. It's what it comes down to. You have to play the games, and you never know who's going to come out. But I think a short season will benefit the Cardinals.
Who's going to play in the outfield?
I think there's going to be a couple of guys that are going to get their shot.
They're going to let Dylan Carlson come up?
Not for a while.
No?
No. It'll be the service time issue. I think that will be talked about a lot. But I think the outfield, they're going to give a couple of guys their shot. And if they're not hitting after at least a month, since it's a short season, it might be quicker than that, I think those guys won't be in there because, I'm talking about Fowler and Bader.
You think they'll pull Fowler?
If he's not hitting, if he continues his hitting like he did in last September and into spring training, no, it's a short season. And
so this is the fourth year of his 5-year contract.
I believe so.
I mean, he's.
I'm not saying they're going to release him. I'm saying that he won't be an everyday player. Bader, this is going to be the second year that the job's been given to him, and he has not yet.
He hadn't earned it.
He hadn't earned it, so we have a guy, Lane Thomas, sitting there, and I think that he's going to be.
So, if I hear what you're saying, the lineup on July 1st or whenever they start to play might be quite a bit different from maybe what the lineup is on October 15th whenever they finish up.
Well,
It happens.
That's an easy statement to make.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that's going to happen. We know it's not going to be the same. But the guys, Tyler O'Neill, there's a couple of people that really feel like he's
ready to bust loose?
Yeah, but he's going to have to on the baseball field.
Yeah.
And because
he's about to bust loose of his shirt right now. I mean, the guy's huge.
Yeah,
At least he's trying to be like you.
Yeah.
All right, so you're calling for the World Championship this year?
I'm not calling for that. I think that we'll be in the mix. I think we have the pitching and the defense again. I'm not worried about that. I just don't. I'm just not sure, like everybody else, about our offense. Wow. Everybody says, well, you're just one guy away. Well, maybe we are.
Love your optimism.
I would have definitely done all I could to get the third baseman from Colorado, because I think he can be an impact player.
Love your optimism. Thanks very much for being here, Doug.
Oh, time's up.
Time's up. We're done.
Wow, that was quick. Thanks, Bruce. I enjoy it. Hope to do it again.
There you go. Absolutely. Folks, stay safe. See you soon. Have a great day.